Hello and welcome back to the 162 in Arlington podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the Rangers sweeping the Blue Jays, and they are back to 500. Um, Crazy. Um, I will say that we do give the Rangers a pretty hard time. I think Rangers fans do because I think it is deserved probably for the last like 2.5 years of just being straight up mediocrity. But this was like one of the most fun series we got to see over the last 2.5 years, which was great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think let's just hop straight into the series. This is a four-game series, so I think what we're gonna do is each of us are gonna like recap games, and then we'll kind of go into it. So to start with the first game, this starts with Jock Peterson having a 11 pitch at bat to lead off the game, just like a crazy good at bat. I know you like that at bat,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it was crazy. 11 pitches. His at bats versus Gossman were crazy. Like he just looked so comfortable against Gossman.
Seeing the ball out of the hand perfectly.
Yeah, it was insane. That was a great 11 pitch at bat, and then you go to the third inning, and the thing for the Rangers is they haven't been able to put up the big number, and they did that in the third inning. Um, you get Nicky Lopez with the single, Jock Peterson with the single, two really good at bats sitting opposite field, and then Wyatt Langford gets the big homer. We'll talk about his injury in a little bit, but he got a big homer. And then Corey Seager walks, and then Jake Berg gets the big homer. So that was nice to see the big number being put up on that in that inning, and they're up 6-0, and you're thinking they're gonna coast. But the Rangers' offense, nothing really happened. They didn't score any runs, but they did have a lot of opportunities to score. Couldn't put the game to bed. As for Mackenzie Gore, who started this game, I really thought this was one of his better outings of the year. I know he in that fifth inning, he gave up 3 runs, had a little bit of trouble with the command, but I didn't think he looked that bad in that fifth inning. The Blue Jays put together some good at-bats in that inning. It was, yeah, I thought he was commanding his pitches well. He was letting that fastball ride at the top of the zone, and if he can throw his fastball for strikes and like for quality strikes, then all of his other pitches work so well off of it. You know, his cutter, his curveball, and his changeup. So that's what he was doing. And he looked really nasty, went 7 innings of 3-run ball. And I hope that we can get more of that from Mackenzie Gore, right?
Yeah. When he's attacking the zone, he's a really good pitcher. When he's attacking the zone and just getting those quick outs, he's really good. Because his stuff's so good that like we've been saying this, if you could just attack the zone with your fastball, he's not going to get hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's facts. And then the Rangers are up 6-3, and and because it's a safe situation, they have to go to Junis and Lats, which we were already pretty disappointed of because Junis and Lats have been used so much, and this felt like a game where the Rangers could have blown this open and not have to use Junis or Lats. But the situation presented themselves that they had to use Junis and Lats. Junis gets a 1-2-3 eighth inning, so he pitched well there. Jacob Latz comes in. He looks gassed in the first game. Gives up a single to Ernie Clement. Strikes out Vladdy Kazuma Okamoto with a tank, and he just did that all series. He is really good. But Latz gets out of it. Junis and Latz survive. Again, props to both of them. I guess we'll give them props at game 2, but just for who those guys have been the MVPs of this season, man.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you really got to find a way to put the game away and not use Junison Lats for a while because these guys need a break.
Yeah, you got to put the game away, and then also they need to find some other guys who can find it at the back end of that bullpen. And I guess in the final 2 games we'll talk about that. So you could talk about game 2.
Yeah, so very similar to game 1. Got to an early lead thanks to Nimmo double, and Foscue continues to just smoke the ball off lefties. He's been really good against lefties. I think, yeah, he's been really good. He has an over 1,000 OPS against lefties, so he's been one of the surprising call-ups this year. And then Duran makes it 3-0. And then again, Foscue with a homer, 5-0. And then again, same thing as the first game, scored early, had opportunities, didn't cash them in. And then later in the game, the Blue Jays almost come back, and then Junis and Latch shut the door. the first two games of the series are very familiar.
Yeah. You could talk about Evaldi, right? Evaldi
Oh
had
yeah,
like
Valdi, yeah.
70.
Yeah, Valdi was again seven innings, no runs. So he was lights out. Evaldi when he's on is one of the most fun pitchers in baseball to watch because you just don't know what he's throwing. He'll mix up his pitches constantly. He feels like he can go to any pitch on any count. It's just really fun to watch him pitch.
Yep, 1,000%. I got Justin Foscue, 382 average, 475 on base, 735 slug, 1.210 OPS against lefties. So if he's gonna hit lefties, it doesn't matter about his defense. He's gonna stay up here. We've said that before. So it's great to see him hitting against lefties. Um, but yeah, Evaldi, great outing. Junis, it's weird, right? Because what Evaldi went seven.
Yeah,
Sorry, what happened? Evaldi went seven, right? And they were up 5-0. And then they go to Alstrom in that bottom of the eighth
yeah,
instead of Peyton Gray. I mean, Alstrom had been good before this series. Obviously, he had a bad series here, but before the series, he was actually pretty good. So I understand them going to Alstrom. He gives up an infield single, a walk, and then a fly out, which it is what it is. The walk is something you can do, but after that, the Rangers go to Junis, which I do understand them going to Junis because they
he needed to
needed
win
this
this
win.
game.
Yeah, the game after the second game was one where the Rangers did not have an advantage in any aspect because they had Dylan Cease for the Blue Jays, and then they had to do a bullpen game with Cal Quantrill. So I understand that Skip Schumacher had to win this game. The thing was, Junis did not have it. Like his command was really off. He looked just tired. Both him and Lance just looked very tired. But they got through it. They survived the 5-run lead. Junis gets through it, even though giving up some runs. Latz has a really good ninth. Again, just continues to be a dog for this team, Jacob Latz. I do think he's the MVP of this team, really.
Yeah, he deserves to be in Philly for the All Star game.
Yeah, what's his ERA? Because I never know
185,
what
I
the
think.
I never know what the threshold is for relievers. 185. We'll
Here it
see.
is.
I mean, 16 saves. Well, let me go look. Like where does he rank in saves? I don't know. Can you try finding it?
Yeah, I'm
How
trying
where
to
he
find it.
ranks in saves?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay. Well, sorry. Well, now I'll quickly recap.
Seventh.
Huh?
He's
Seventh in
seventh
saves. What
with
about in the
16.
AL? What about in the AL?
In the AL, he ranks third.
Third in the AL?
He's tied,
Yeah,
tied with Chapman, Bednar,
yeah.
and
He
Varland.
definitely deserves it, man.
Yeah, he
For
deserves
what
it.
he's been for this team, he definitely deserves it. Okay, we'll talk about Game 3, where the Rangers win 7-4. They get another first inning run on a bloop single from Jake Berger and Dylan Cease just being very Dylan Cease being very wild. I will say the Rangers at bats against Dylan Cease really impressed me because Dylan Cease relies on chase a lot, and the Rangers weren't chasing against Dylan Cease, and it was really great to see how much they weren't chasing on Dylan Cease, and so that was great. And that's how they were able to get his pitch count so high and get him out after 4 2/3. So it remained 1-0 for a while. Cal Quantrill went 4 shutout innings. Shocked me how good he looked. That fastball had a lot of zip to it. The splitter was doing its thing. The curveball was nasty. It was impressive what we saw from Cal Quantrill, and I definitely think he's going to have that final starting spot after what he showed. He definitely should be fully stretched out and have that final starting spot with Jack Leiter being out for a little bit. Yeah, you got anything on Quantrill?
No, he just looked really good. I think what was different about his last outing was he just couldn't command the fastball, and he had command this time, which is he looked really good. But yeah, some people were complaining about him coming out after the fourth inning with his pitch count, but he wasn't stretched out to go further than like 60 pitches, so there was no point in stretching him out.
Yeah, it was also clear in the fourth inning he was letting it all out. He's like this is my final inning. He knew it. So yeah, but hopefully next time he's going to be stretched out fully. And then the Rangers have a big fifth inning where they put up a 5 spot in that fifth inning. You get a walk from Josh Young, a nice single from Brandon Nimmo. Jake Berger with a great AB, a six pitch AB, and then he gets a slider, knocks in for a single. It was just a sequence of really great AB. Zeke Duran with the walk, Ozuna with his signature bloop single.
Against the lefty.
Yeah, against the lefty, man, doing it against the lefty, that was great. Elias Diaz with the double. So it was a sequence of great at bats in that fifth inning, and it just shows like having Elias Diaz and Alejandro Zuna every day in that bottom of the lineup, and Nicky Lopez has just it's made a big difference for this lineup. Like it definitely has gotten longer.
Yeah, because prior to the Langford injury, there was no black holes in this lineup. Like everyone could hit. There was no one in the lineup who would like consistently take on professional at bats.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah, so then we get in the bottom of the fifth we get that's when the Rangers bullpen comes in, which was severely taxed as they did not have Junis or Latz. It's Robbie Alstrom and Joe Ross go for an inning in two thirds, giving up 4 runs. They both did not look very good. But then who comes in to save the day is Peyton Gray, who I feel like he's had some good outings, some bad outings, but he looked really good in this outing. He went 2 1/3, right?
Yep.
He struck out the side in the seventh. It looked absolutely nasty.
Yeah.
And I definitely think he needs to be in that circle of trust because the Rangers need to find other guys that can be in that circle of trust with Junis and Latz basically, if they keep going at that pace, their arms are going to fall off,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Seager also hit the homer, which is
Yeah, I was
nice
going to talk about, yeah.
After the Blue Jays scored, just Seager answering back is nice to have.
Yeah. Overall on Seager, sorry, I almost call him Siegel. Seager, he's a tick off on the fastball. That's what it. We obviously know with Seager that it always takes him some time to find his timing. But he connected on the slider. I think he just has to find it against the fastball. He's still a tick off against the fastball. Once he finds the fastball, he'll be there. But great outing from Peyton Gray. And then Tyler Alexander shuts the door with a great ninth inning. And I think he needs to be in that circle of trust too. So they got kind of 4 guys in that circle of trust right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go on game 4 if you got anything else.
Yeah. So game 4 was it was pretty much the same thing as the rest of the other games, except they didn't put up the big number like they did in those previous games. This is more what we're used to seeing from this team. Peterson with the homer, which he's been really hot. He's been swinging a really hot bat, which is nice to see. And then, the Rangers, they did get very unlucky. They got a lot of lineouts. But at the same time, it's like you shouldn't be hitting it on the ground. I don't know. But
yeah, they had a lot of bases loaded, 1-out opportunities, right?
Yeah,
to put up
you
more
shouldn't be
runs.
trying to hit it on the ground. You should be trying to get it in the air. But then Diaz with the single makes it 2-0, and then it wasn't until and then Cole Winn comes in. Or actually, talk about Rocker first. Rocker was really good. This is, I think, his best start of the season, especially against this lineup because it's a good offensive lineup, and he just completely shut them down. Besides the first inning, like if he gets through the first inning, he's really good. He just needs to find ways to get through that first inning.
Yeah, his command was really good. Like if you saw he was locating his fastball really well, and then he's found something with that slider. The slider has just new levels of bite on it, really. So yeah,
It's like you could
great
throw it
outing
in
for
any
him.
count, and the hitter still can't. Like they can't figure it out. And then Cole Winn comes in, and he has a good seventh inning. The whole problem with the Winn that we talk about is how he kind of just throws bad strikes and gets away with it. And it kind of came back to bit him. He threw a bad strike to Lucas, and he hit it for a 2-run homer. And that's kind of what you're afraid of with Winn, is he's pretty shaky. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. But then after that, in the ninth, Young with a nice double with which he was sliding. This whole month he's had no power, and even when he gets hits, it's just been bloop singles. So it's nice to see him drive one into the gap for a double. And then a great move by Schumacher to pinch run Kellenic for Young, because then it's a wild pitch and Kirk just completely loses track of the ball, and then Kellenic's able to score, which is a good management move. And then Alexander comes in the ninth, and he closes the door, and he's definitely become in that circle of trust with Gray and Judas and Letts.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, they're very lucky how they won the game. That ninth inning wild pitch is very lucky. But again, credit to Schumacher um, for the pinch run. It is one of those things where, like, I don't know, the Blue Jays. It felt like everything just went wrong for them this series, and that was kind of like the icing on the cake. By the way, with the Blue Jays, I don't know what's going on with Vladdy. Man,
Yeah.
it's like there's no juice on the bat. It was like every at bat was a grounder to short. I wanted to say that after every game, but I didn't want to jinx it.
Yeah,
And now that they're not facing them, I'm going to say it. Because I'm usually always scared when he comes up to the plate, and I still am. It's just weird what's going on with him. Also, I do want to give credit to Colwyn, even though he gave up the 2-run homer, he kept the Rangers in the game. That's all because the Rangers only have Colwyn, Tyler Alexander, and Winston Santos available for this game. They didn't have anyone else, and that's why it was important Rocker went 6.
Yeah, and I think this is what you're kind of because then this does become a problem because now like before last year it was like your offense could put up 4 runs and you're like okay we can win this game. If your offense, I think this offense is going to have to put up 6-7 runs every game to feel safe just because this bullpen is very shaky. You have like 4 lockdown guys.
Yeah.
And like 2 of them aren't like completely locked down. Like Junis and Alexander aren't like completely locked down because Junis can get hit around and Alexander can get hit around. It's really just Latz and Gray. Latz and Gray.
Yeah, for sure. Rangers do need to find some more arms. I wonder if there's anyone in AAA that can help out with that, but they definitely do. I think let's talk about so Langford gets put on the IL, right? We could talk about that after just before the third game. He had another hamstring tightness, and in that second game, he was running the bases very, very hard, trying to extend singles into doubles. And I think I looked back at his injury history. He had a hamstring. This is a hamstring strain. Last year, 3 oblique strains, separate oblique strains, put him on the IL. Year before that, he had a hamstring strain, and for this hamstring strain, it's going to take him out until after the All-Star break. I think he needs to take a chill pill running the bases. I think he needs to do Pilates with Jake Berger and take a chill pill when running the bases because I love how he runs the bases and he goes 100% all out, but it's not worth it if he's going to keep injuring himself like this.
Yeah. And also, like, I don't know if this is what caused the tightness or whatever, but dude, how hard this man slides into the bag is ridiculous. Like, the bag almost comes out of the ground with how hard he slides into it.
Yeah, Bassick and Raymond were saying that, yeah. I do think that. I do think it's more because of how hard he's running,
Yeah.
And then Evan Carter gets called back up, which, let's see what he brings. It's one game that we saw from him.
But he needed more time in AAA, and you had Cam Cauley, which you could have called up, giving you that help against lefties that you probably kind of needed. So I don't know why you called Carter up because I think he needs more time in AAA. I think he needs to spend some time in AAA just figuring out lefties. He needs to spend some time in AAA just figuring that out.
Yeah. Yeah, with Cam Cauley, it's weird because they have to like add a 40-man spot or something like that. But I do think he deserves it, and I think he needs to be up now because we saw in yesterday's game that you have Kelenic on the bench, and there's just like a black hole because there's too many lefties. Because you have Peterson who only hits righties, Carter and Kelenic can only hit righties. So, and Nicky Lopez can only hit righties.
No, Lopez can hit lefties.
I mean, but with Carter being in the lineup, you only have Foscue. I mean, they don't have enough righties to balance it out, right? They have Foscue who can platoon with Peterson, but then they need somebody else to platoon with Carter, and it feels like Cam Cauley is that answer. So I wonder when. It feels like he needs to be called up sooner rather than later. I just don't know when.
Yeah, and he can give you that defense.
Yeah, he can give you that defense Kelenic can give. I think you can easily DFA Kelenic. He gives the speed and the defense that Kelenic has.
Yeah.
I think the last thing I'll talk about this move, a move that the Rangers made, and then move that the Rangers made, and then we can talk about this Guardian series coming up. It appears that we just got news about like 45 minutes ago that the Rangers are close to signing a deal with starting pitcher Chris Paddock, who made who's made some outings with the Marlins this year and the Reds. They haven't been good. He has an ERA around 7. But the one positive stat I could find is that he's made like 9 starts and 4 relief outings, and he has been better as a reliever than a starter. So maybe that I do expect him to pitch today, actually, because if you guys didn't see, Tyler Alexander's going to be an opener, and then they've kind of pushed all the starters back one day. So I expect him to pitch today. I don't know what we're gonna get from him. I haven't seen him pitch too much. I know he has been good, so let's see what we get out of him.
Yeah. Because you need Quantrill in the pen for the depth, so I don't think you can really take Quantrill into the rotation, I guess, is their mentality.
No, I think they're just pushing everyone back a day. I think Quantrill's going to be in the rotation. I think it's just pushing everyone back a day to get some extra rest.
All right.
Yeah. But it does feel weird after you just do a four game sweep, like some of the best baseball you've played, and then we're starting Tyler Alexander, and you're going to be throwing out Chris Paddock.
Yeah, this feels like a momentum killer, because the thing with this team is like it takes one game for them to kill all momentum.
Facts. So now they're playing a good Guardians team for 3 games. Like we said, Alexander's going to start. They're on ESPN on a Monday. I don't know what that is. They're horrible on national TV. So
hey, they won against the Guardians last time on national.
Yeah, but Apple TV, they're better on Apple TV. It's more ESPN and Fox is where they're bad.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they're facing the Guardians on ESPN on a Monday. I don't know. It's Rangers Guardians as well.
And it's the second time in like a month. It's literally the second time this month.
Yeah. And then DeGrom versus Bybee. Oh yeah, the first game's against Parker Messick. It's the same 3 guys the Rangers faced before. Alexander versus Parker Messick, DeGrom versus Tanner Bybee, who dominated them, and then Gore versus Joey Cantillo. And that's another reason I think Cawley should be up, because you have 3 guys that are lefty, 2 starters that are going to be lefties, and it feels like there's a hole there again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really think Cam Cawley should be called up, but let's see what happens. So yeah, we went a little bit longer here in this episode because it was a good series to talk about because they won. It wasn't depressing. So, yep. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you after the Guardian series.